Great day for racing here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Now, tomorrow, the first Union 400 for the NASCAR Winston Cup Stars. So what have we got for you on Saturday? The NASCAR Busch Series? Nope. NASCAR Goodies Dash? Nope. We've got the NASCAR Modifieds for you today, and this should be a thriller. Now, in 2 weeks, these guys begin a weekly series at Bowman Gray Stadium. But today, they're running a special event for the excitement for you and me. Let's meet the cars. They're about 2,600 pounds, produce about 600 horsepower. They run on 15-inch wide Hoosier bias ply tires. Take a look in here in the driver's compartment. Lots of room. Comfy, Roger?
Oh, very comfortably.
Okay, have a great race. That's Roger Hill. He's on the pole nearly 120 miles an hour. Now, you've seen the stock car boys bang on the spoiler. You won't see any of that here today. We've refined this. We have a nice little adjustment valve here so we can make spoiler adjustments during pit stops. And here's my favorite part. They call this the Nerf bar. Now, this was explained to me this morning that this is a safety device so the tires don't rub. Well, I think it's really a safety device for the drivers because the tires, folks, they're going to rub here today. The track record, 125 miles an hour, set by Dave Resendez, who won the first NASCAR Super Truck race this season. They've slowed him down a little bit with the gear rule, but not a lot, because that slower speed means one thing for you and me: closer, tighter, and better racing.
ESPN, the world's leader in motorsports coverage, welcomes you to one of NASCAR's original charter racetracks, North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Started today's NASCAR Modified Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse 150. Great field of cars on hand. Good crowd as they are enjoying what has been a beautiful day thus far. Temperatures today, 72 degrees, a little bit overcast, humidity 42%, and the wind just a mild gust at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch along with Benny Parsons. And Benny, when we show these cars on these shows on Saturday, we're normally watching the Busch Series or the truck cars, the trucks that run. And most of those guys are saying, I want to make it to run on Sunday in Winston Cup. But these guys in this series have different goals.
Well, you know, folks, that's what we're always talking about, the Saturday races, trying to jump up in class. If we show you the Winston Racing Series, they want a Busch ride or a truck ride. These folks are doing it for one reason. These drivers are doing it for one reason, because they truly enjoy racing race cars. That's what they do for a hobby. They have a job, they work to earn a living, and spend their money, their extra money, racing cars on a Saturday night at Bowman Gray, and once in a while at North Wilkesboro.
You know, they enjoy driving these cars, and you're going to enjoy watching them. They're about that far off the ground at 600 horsepower. They call them ground rockets, the old adage of men who live by the grace of God. And 600 horsepower. Benny, take a look.
They receive 350 cubic inch minimum. Most of the cars are 355 cubic inches. 12-to-1 compression ratio. They can be more, but they have to add weight for that. A height of 40 inches. 2,610 pounds with the driver. That's with 355 cubic inches. If they run more cubic inches, they have to add weight. Maximum only 56% of the weight can be on the left side, on the left rear or left front tire. The wheelbase, 107-inch minimum. And the ground clearance, as Jerry said, just 2 inches off the ground.
And they run a 390 carburetor, or else you wouldn't be able to see them. They'd come by so fast. That keeps the speed down to where we can at least watch it with the cameras. And a guy who understands how fast these cars are is sitting in his car near Bill Weber.
And Frank Fleming is in his Pontiac, qualified third, over 119 miles per hour. We know how tough it is for the Winston Cup guys to get around here. Tell me about life at North Wilkesboro in a modified, Frank.
I'll tell you what, it's something else. We pulling about the same engine as the Cup cars are pulling. We're about 500 pounds lighter. We've got 3 or 4 more inches of tire on the ground at each corner. So these cars are quick and they're fast. So.
Is it fun?
Oh, yeah, we love it. I enjoy it, run these cars.
Okay, well, we should enjoy it, too. And by the way, he's sitting about 2 inches off the ground, Jerry.
Frank Fleming will start third as 31 cars are set to race. 150 laps, $20,250. The Lowe's 150. Back with a starting lineup after this. Speedboat coverage of the NASCAR Lowe's 150 is being brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drinking Busch Light. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR. By Quaker State, the motor oil that exceeds the highest standards for engine protection. By Suzuki, your Suzuki motorcycle and ATV dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. And by the NASCAR Story. To order, call 800-71-NASCAR. 31 cars will start. Our Suzuki starting grid will show you that 49-year-old Roger Hill from Westfield, North Carolina, what they call Hillbilly Racing. That's the name of his team, folks. His Pontiac leads them off on the pole.
And all these drivers live close to the North Wilkesboro Speedway, Winston-Salem, Frank Fleming, some Mount Airy. Ron Shepard is originally from New York, but now does live around Charlotte, North Carolina. Clinton Swisher back in 8th spot. Billy Middleton runs very well in that number 10 spot.
16 through 30, you'll see back in 24th and 25th, two former winners here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Al Hill, who drives the car number 70, and Ralph Brinkley out of Lexington, North Carolina, an 8-time Bowman Gray champion. And back in 31st spot, Lanny Wilkins from Hamptonville, North Carolina. His Pontiac qualified just over 110 miles an hour. He will start 31st. Our track description, we told you this is a 5/8 mile facility. One of the original charter tracks in NASCAR, 0.625 miles around. The front and back stretch equal at 670 feet. The banking in the corners, 14 degrees in the turns and 3 degrees on the straightaways. And our race analysis, we told you it's 150 laps. The Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse 150. The event record set by Robert Jeffries back in 1990, his win here, 111.607. The pole speed today, not a record, by about 6 miles an hour slower because of those gear rules and the limited carburation. 119.904, and the purse just a shade over $20,000. And
Well,
Benny, what we miss on some of that description is the fact that this is a racetrack that's uphill and downhill.
Well, now there we see some. There's Jeff Gordon checking these fellows out. Ray Evernham, remember, his crew chief was a modified driver for many, many years up in New Jersey. So I know Ray, when these cars practiced on Friday morning, Evernham was up against the fence like a little kid hanging on, watching these cars practice.
Ray loved to run Wall Stadium. Today's field, 31 cars, 17 Chevys, 10 Pontiacs, 2 Olds, a Buick, and a Plymouth Laser. One Plymouth Laser in the field, and that is the car 11 of Bubba Beck. Starting toward the rear, Bubba is 60 years of age, been racing for 40 years, competing today in NASCAR's open wheel competition. And glad to have you with us. Bill Weber, Benny Parsons, and Jerry Pine set for open wheel NASCAR modified action from North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Green flag, they're off.
Car in the middle of your straight, 83. That car had a little trouble coming up to speed. That was Tim Brown. Like he might have missed the shift coming out of turn 2. Now he falls back in line. That is Junior Miller, the 69 car, riding behind him.
There we see, wow, did he have trouble coming up to speed as those cars slid? And some of those cars, I'm sure, might have flat spotted those tires. They'll check if there's a vibration, then they'll have to stop on the green and change tires. And Frank Fleming having some trouble going in the 07. That is Fleming.
That's Gary Myers in the yellow car, number 1, right behind Fleming. Myers, who's won the only modified event they've run this year. That was at Somerville Speedway in South Carolina 2 weeks ago.
Car of Tim Brown is losing a spot as Junior Miller, the 69. There's Billy Middleton in the 45 car trying to get by the 83. And he will do so.
That's for 6th and 7th spot.
White car, number 5, is Randy Butner. Battle for 3rd spot. To Gary Myers, and there goes Shepard on the outside in the 2 car.
Shepard had just moved down from the north 6 months ago, moved his family down to North Carolina. Wilkesboro, North Carolina, has run the NASCAR North Modified Tour, basically the Federline Modified Series, a number of years. He takes his spot away from Gary Myers.
Oh, the contact there between Shepard and the 07. Frank Fleming. Now Middleton, Billy Middleton on the outside, that black car on the outside passage. Junior Miller, good move. A slow car. Ooh. That slow car, the 25 of Lanny Wilkins, having trouble early on.
This battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and Speedway. He is the leader. They are side by side, back second, third, fourth, and fifth spot, the 07. That is Frank Fleming, and he now will be passed by Ron Shepard. Take the second spot, and now Myers makes the move.
Gary Myers go by. Billy Middleton drives up on the outside. So the 07 car, Frank Fleming, all kinds of problems early here in the low 150. Loses another spot. And I'm sure that Junior Miller has watched these fellas and has seen how easy it is. And he said, I might as well try it on the outside as well. And meanwhile, there's a slow car that they have to contend with. That's Bubba Beck, the yellow car on the inside.
There you're watching Shepard in second. He's the 2 car. Myers, the 1 car, is third. Then comes Middleton. It's the black car, number 45. Long-time modified owner Kenny Stewart owns that car, number 45.
Myers for second. Gary Myers, the 1 car on the inside of Shepard. He has the preferred line. But these cars do not want to touch those tires. Bad things happen when that happens.
Myers down on the inside of the racetrack. Running side by side with the 1995 Tioga Speedway track champion. Just has made a move, and now the slow car costs Myers a back out of it. It will also cost him a spot as Middleton makes the pass.
So Billy Middleton, his crew told me this morning his car was fast. If they messed up in qualifying, had some water get under one of the tires and get the car loose, but obviously he is fast. Up to third spot from his 10th starting position.
Well, you see the 4th car in your picture there is Frank Fleming. He's being shown now in 5th position. Let's check in with his pits, Bill Weber.
Well, they got off to a pretty good start and then slipped around a little bit. They're pretty happy with how the car is running. They say no problem so far. Tim Brown in the 83 car, just a little loose at the start. His crew told me, well, he's really still getting used to the car. So that was the explanation for his slow start when the green flag came out, guys.
And Benny, a lot of these drivers are concerned about burning the tires off. They thought maybe about halfway they'll come in and be able to put at least right side tires, maybe change 3 tires. These are bias ply tires, and certainly at these speeds with this kind of horsepower, they can burn them off in a hurry.
They have to be awfully careful with the tires because they can only change 2 sets of tires today. The NASCAR officials have deemed that 3 sets of tires, 12 tires is really all they need to run about 93 miles.
18 laps to complete here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Out of 150, which will make up the Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse 150 NASCAR modified event. Glad to have you with us here on a beautiful day in the Brushy Mountains of North Carolina. Back at North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, there is the leader, car number 79, Roger Hill out of Westfield, North Carolina. His best finish here, a third, coming 3 years ago, back in 1993. He said he hadn't won a pole, Benny, in 8 or 9 years. It's been that long. Not only said on the pole, this is going to be my year, though. I'm turning it around here in 1996.
It sure looks like he's got me convinced by how he's driven away from the rest of the competitors. There's Chris Fleming, Frank Fleming's brother in the 16 car that's about to roll out down through the Hill Automobile and does. And look what a lead he has on second place.
Almost a straightaway for that battle, but for second spot is Middleton on the inside of Shepard. Shepard's car slips a little bit, but has a lot of horsepower coming off the turn.
Oh, we got 40 spun and the caution flag is out. Brad Robbins loops coming off turn 4.
Brad Robbins, 32 years of age, out of Winston-Salem, is a regular at Bowman Gray Stadium. That will bring out the first caution flag. Brad's 4th year in modified racing, ran the full season last year at Bowman Gray. His Chevy Beretta, having looped it around, didn't let him hit much. See if we can see what might have happened to Brad.
Comes off the corner, and what happened to is he had too much horsepower for the traction out in the rear tires. And around he goes. Comes to a stop. Now the question is, how many cars will stop and change tires? Only 25 laps into the race. Will any car stop and change tires? We'll have to see.
Some of the crews I talked to, Benny, said they would like to be able to go 70 laps or go close to halfway and then put some fresh tires on. At least right side tires maybe come in and then blitzkrieg at the last 75 laps. There's the car number 40 that spun a moment ago. If you remember our race here a year ago when Brad Roberts was running 5th with 5 laps to go and spun the car, I said, I don't want to make that mistake today. I want to be nice and smooth and son of a gun if he isn't the first one to bring out the caution.
There's another angle from our speed shot at the start-finish line. Well, I guess no cars. Yeah, a few cars are coming down pit road. I see Chris Fleming. He's already been lapped. He's coming down pit road. The 83 car up. Tim Brown is making a pit stop. He just ran up in the top 10.
Here he comes down 35 miles an hour with the speed on pit road. And as you said, only 2 tires per position being allowed. Here's the 6th car in. That is Tim Dwiggins out of Kernersville.
Let's see, they've got the right side up on Brown's car. There's the Dwiggins automobile you were talking about. They're jacking up the rear of his car. I guess they're changing the chassis. The adjustments for chassis is on the shock absorber. What's going on with Tim Brown, Phil Weber?
Well, he's heading back to the track right now. He had called in, complained about a loose condition, so they went to work on the right side there, and he's returned to the track. We'll try and get an update, get it up to you.
Well, when the race started, Bill, this car got very loose coming off turn 2. I thought he might have missed a shift, but the car maybe just sort of jumped out of control, so they came in and took that right rear tire off. And there is Jimmy Howell, the flagman, still waving the caution flag. First caution of the day here in the Lowe's 150, the spin by the car number 40, Brad Roberts. We'll be back. Back into the Wilkesboro Speedway, still into the first caution flag today. The Pontiac safety car now pulling away as we have 26 laps complete out of 150, which will comprise this event. The NASCAR Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse 150. Roger Hill has been our pole sitter, and he's led every single lap thus far, pulling away very comfortably, but now with the caution, they are all bunched up.
Yeah, this is a tough break for Hill because that allows all the competitors to catch up. And let's see if they'll be able to do something with it once they're caught up. Billy Wilson, the black car, the third-place car, is taking a look. On the inside of Ron Shepard. Ooh, Shepard smoked the tire a little bit there. Oh, he blew it up. Oh, the 2 car on Shepard's looks like it's lost an engine. That's a tough break.
That young man won 4 times last year, winning a track championship. You see that debris coming off on the side of the car, and they're going to put out the caution immediately, concerned about there maybe being some oil or fluid on the racetrack. NASCAR's primary concern in all their series is safety. Well, an engine erupted. Jimmy Howell grabbed the caution flag, and sure you heard from Wayne Alton, who was the NASCAR official in charge of this event today. There is Shepard. What a tough break for the young man. Just moved to North Carolina 6 months ago.
And this car is owned by the Zacharias family, still out of New York.
Shepard, the 1995 track champion at Tioga Speedway. Used to be the old Shangri-La Speedway up in Owego, New York. Down there trying to further his racing career. Owns his own machine shop. Also has a fabricating business, and apparently something wrong in the engine compartment. But he had a great run going here in the early laps. Gorgeous day here in North Wilkesboro. 29 of 150 laps are complete, and our leader is Roger Hill. Back in a moment. Lots of racing action to come your way here on ESPN and ESPN2. Take a look at our Sunday menu. Breakfast, ESPN2's Thunder from 7 a.m. Eastern time on the Deuce. NASCAR Modified Lowe's 150 at 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. What follows breakfast? Well, Benny can tell you that's brunch. Very quickly, NASCAR Winston Cup North Wilkesboro qualifying. I'll take Terry Labonte in that one. 11 a.m. Eastern time, ESPN2. RPM today, Kenny Mayne and Company, bringing you up to date on everything that's happening in motorsports. Noon Eastern time. Of course, lunch coming up next. And how about NASCAR today, 12:30 p.m. Dave Despain will be here simulcast on the Deuce at ESPN Classic. Then our live flag-to-flag coverage. The first Union 400, Bob Jacobs will be sitting here hosting that show at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then Sunday dinner, RPM tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Listen, folks, this show could come on a little earlier, Kenny Mayne and company up in Bristol, Connecticut, because of the hockey playoff game. If it ends early, RPM tonight could be on as early as 7 or maybe even 7:30. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
And this is Carol Dalton. And Carol, you're going to explain to us the shock travel that Benny was talking about.
Okay. This hooks on to the bottom of A-frame. This hooks up top. When you want to put more pressure on the spring, you take this and tighten it up or down every which way you want it to go. This will put more pressure on the spring and make it ride high.
And that's how you adjust your chassis in these modifieds,
That's
huh?
true. That's right.
Now, the driver can tell you which way he wants you to go?
We hope so.
Okay, and your driver's doing okay so far, huh?
So far, so good, yes.
Started on the pole, leading the race.
So far.
Okay, Benny, how'd we do?
Hey, you did pretty doggone good. I was trying to explain to the folks, but I said I'll never be able to do that. Weber can get a shock and show how they adjust the chassis on the modifieds. That's a coil-over shock absorber, and where they run that, that's how this adjustment is made. Green flag, back to racing.
Restart lap 35. That first caution for 6 laps. And Roger Hill goes back after it, but after Roger is one car number 45 of Billy Middleton.
In the summer, you can tell where your favorite driver is running. And Hill seems to have lost some of his advantage, Jerry, because right now Middleton and Myers both give him about all he wants.
If you look at the field summary, the number in parentheses is where that driver started. You see Al Hill started 24th, has moved up to 16th. He's a former winner here.
Frank Fleming on the inside of Gary Myers at 0-7. And takes that spot away. Racetrack is really getting slick out there. The drivers look like they're really feeling their way now. Middleton tries it on the outside, opens the door for Fleming, but look how Fleming losing it back in as he comes off the corner. He's on the inside of Middleton.
And Fleming will take that spot away. Middleton driving an Oldsmobile Forenza. That's the 45 machine, the Kenny Stewart owned car, now back in 3rd spot.
And folks, that looks like no Oldsmobile Forenza you've ever seen. Neither does it look like one I've ever seen either. But that's what they call them, right, Jerry?
That's what they call them. It's what the body style is supposed to be. Here's more problems for Tim Brown in the 83 car.
He's locking up the brakes going down in the corner.
Remember, he qualified 4th and came down pit road. You heard Bill Weber talk about the problems. The car was very loose when they were trying to adjust it in the pits.
See Junior Miller back in 6th spot, the orange car, excuse me. And their scoring pylon, you see the line between the 69 and 56. That's just to distinguish 5th from 6th. Make it easier to look and tell who is 5th and who is 6th.
Let's check in with Bill Weber for an update on Ron Shepard.
And Ron, you're behind the wall, so's your car. What happened?
Well, Bill, car kind of didn't hold up. We had an oil line break. I was hoping to be able to talk to you in about 150 laps, but a little too early. But the car ran great. Just had an oil line break.
Track conditions out there for you guys.
I think the track's really good. You know, my car was set up pretty good. Not too tight, not too loose. So I think it was a good day.
Okay, but his day ended early.
Nice young man, Ron Shepard, moving down from up in the New York area down to North Carolina to try to continue his racing career.
And the 40 car, Brad Robbins, was hit the black flag by the NASCAR officials the last lap. Meanwhile, there's a battle with Lee Jeffers in the 7 car and Brown in the 83, and a battle for the lead. On the outside is Fleming and takes the lead. Now Middleton is trying to go by it on the outside to take over 2nd.
Frank Fleming trying to do it the hard way. Makes the move in the car 07. It's a Pontiac J2000. Folks, it's what the sheet metal is supposed to be. And right behind him is that car number 45. So it's Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and Chevrolet. First 3 cars.
It looks like that Fleming's car was a little bit too tight when the race started. Oh, battle for the lead. Middleton took a look on the inside. Looked like Fleming's car was a little bit too tight when the race started, but it is coming to, and the racetrack has changed, and his car is okay. Meanwhile, Hill losing another spot, or about to lose another spot, as Gary Myers in the 1 tries to go on the outside. Here's Junior Miller in 69. The white 54 is Jay Foley, and there's Hood and Swisher. Melvin Swisher, the yellow 56. This is a great battle.
Outstanding racing here.
And tonight, these same cars go to Caraway Speedway down in Asheboro, North Carolina, and do exactly the same thing over again. What did Yogi say? It's going to be deja vu all over again.
All over again. They've got it's about a 2-hour and 15-minute drive. You see Middleton now trying to sneak a peek to the inside of the 07 of Fleming. That's first and second. Middleton. No, Fleming's got a lot of muscle coming off the corner.
Meanwhile, these two cars, even though they're batting, you can see, folks, that they are pulling away ever so slightly from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Junior Miller has taken the 4th spot away from Myers. Miller won 5 of the 10 SMART events called SMART, Southern Modified Auto Racing Teams events. That's a tour they run among these drivers here in the South. And now Miller, a 5-time winner last year in that season, that tour, is really working over the car number 79 on pole for the Roger Hill. Saw that serial on Foley. Boy, he's come from 17 starting spots. Jay Foley out of Stewart, Virginia, in the car number 54.
Up, battle for the lead, Middleton. Oh, slow car. The 8 car of Brian Pack. Slow car was there. Otherwise, I think Middleton had the lead. Bill Weber, this Billy Melton is running very well, isn't he?
Hey, Benny, third of the way through. They're having a blast. The crew's sky high. Talked to Charles Pam. The crew chief, like you said, they've been good ever since they got here. Had a small problem in qualifying. Didn't disturb at all. They knew they had a great car. And Charles just told me we have a good car now. We're going to have one the whole race. I said, have you heard from your driver? He said, Billy says he's got a good car and he's going to the front.
Billy Middleton in the car number 45, giving Frank Fleming all he can handle in that Hayes Jewelers Pontiac, the 07 machine.
Boy, they got a mess right in front of them. Look at this. Wow. There's Keith Robertson, 81.
And that's Frank's younger brother right in front of him in the car number 16. That is his younger brother. He finally moves up and gets Frank a line to get through, but that's going to cost him some time.
So far, getting through this traffic has not been a problem. Meanwhile, there's the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. They're all jammed up right behind them. And that 4 car is Gary Myers' son, Bert Myers, at the very end of this line of cars. It was not at the very end. The black number 4. 20 years old.
Bert was the most popular driver of this Southern Modified Auto Racing Tour last year. Loaded on that on the banquet.
And Swisher's having some trouble in the 56. He is falling back.
Back up front. Fleming gets a little bit of a nudge from behind by Billy Middleton. Well, there's a lot of history between these two cars, Benny.
Oh, spin on turn 4. Don't stop that car. Thank you very much. I thought he was going to slide across the racetrack in front of traffic.
That's Aubrey Fischel out of Winston-Salem in the Oldsmobile, and that will bring out caution flag once again for the 3rd time. And with the caution on the racetrack, we'll take a quick break and come back and see if anyone's going to make an entrance on the pit road and possibly change tires. Our leader is Frank Fleming. Under caution to Wilkesboro. We'll be back. Back at the Wilkesboro Speedway under caution for the 3rd time today here in lap 58 of 150, which make up this Lowe's 150. Leader still following the Pontiac safety car.
Now the question is, will they pit? That is, the 79 car pole sitter, I'm sure is going to make an entrance on pit road because his car has been falling back. Roger Hill I'm talking about. It looks like he's in on the inside, getting ready for a pit stop. Let's see what caused the caution flag. The 44 car official comes off the corner. Where is he? Where is he? He's wherever he is, he's sideways. They're going to be sideways. Oops.
There he is. There's 44. Winston-Salem driver. Backs it around. Just got a little bit of a bump onto the concrete. Tries to jam on the brakes so he doesn't slide back out in front of traffic. Wise move to get those brakes put on so he doesn't roll backwards into the traffic lane. And here are some of those cars. Our leaders coming down pit road at 35 miles an hour. Speedy Thomas and his son Talmadge, who is the crew chief on the 07 car, await that machine as they head for pit road. Frank Fleming, Billy Middleton coming in.
And let's see, they're jacking up the rear of the car. Looks like they're going to change the 2 rear tires.
That's Kenny Stewart and company working on the Billy Middleton car number 45.
And Frank Fleming still is not a ride now. He finally pulls into his pit, and Bill Weber's there.
And this is expected to be a 3-tire change. They go around to the right side. These wheels and tires weigh about 40 pounds less than what the Winston Cup and Busch guys do. They weigh in about 35 to 40 pounds. They've got the 2 right side tires. Actually, the right rear is on, working on the right front. Having some problems with that. Next tire change will be a left rear. Roger Hill's car had developed a push. So, Benny, they're going to fix that push using the exact same shock adjustment treatment that we talked about earlier. Having difficulty here with the 07, still working further down pit road on the 79. Now they go to the right rear, and the left rear tires being put on.
Man, oh man, Bill, he is losing some spot after spot after spot.
They finally got it down and spins and takes it out back to the track, and that was a very lengthy pit stop. 48.7 seconds, guys.
And he almost lost a lap. Not only did he lose a lot of spots, a pace car was coming by. There's Tim Dwiggins as they are working on the right side of his car. Dwiggins, who is a car builder, actually builds these modified cars for a living, and they're working on getting the tires changed there. But boy, almost 50 seconds for that pit stop for the 07 Frank Fleming.
And it looked like he also changed the 2 rear tires. It looked like the 2 rears was the tire change of preference amongst these modified drivers.
Still working caution for the 3rd time today. It was spin here on the front stretch by the car number 44, Aubrey Fischel. All the leaders have pitted, and we'll be back with green flag after this. 62 laps are complete here in the Lowe's 150 as the safety car pulls down and away. And they are showing Junior Miller, the car number 69, a qualified 7th spot, a 2-time winner in the Wilkesboro Speedway back in 1993. He is the reigning Smart Tour Southern Modified Auto Racing Tour champion. He is the leader. That brightly colored orange and yellow number 69 comes down for the green flag.
The white 54 James Bolton will be the 2nd place car. And the 45 car, Billy Middleton, has run into someone. And the right front tire is broken a tie rod. But he does drive the car down to the apron. I don't know if that's going to cause the caution to wave or not.
No caution so far. Middleton's car is off the racetrack. Just to the left there, you see where the leaders go by, and that will not bring the caution out. Junior Miller, the leader, being chased by Jay Foley.
And put Swisher in the 56 car. Remember, he had fallen back after a good run early part of the race, but then they made some adjustments and had some cold tires on there, so Melvin Swisher running very good in the 56.
And for you fans of Roger Hill, our pole sitter, Roger lost a lap in the pits a moment ago, pitting under the caution, so that cost him some valuable time. He has been shown in 19th spot.
And Frank, there we see Billy Middleton. Who did he hit, Jerry?
That was Robert Jeffries. He ran into the back of Robert Jeffries and apparently broke the tie rod. Let's check with Bill Weber.
Well, I didn't get a chance to talk to their crew chief or any members of the crew because Billy was limping in here just as we got up here, and they were feverishly trying to get some tools prepared, but they have gone to the right front. They're going to try and see if they can't make a repair. We'll see if we can't check in, guys. It doesn't look good. Billy's sitting in there, very disappointed. This team scrambling and a great run has ended early here, lap 68 on the board.
Man, what's got into Melvin? I have never seen the 56 car Melvin Swisher run this well. Running, he's a tear out there.
Well, Benny, I asked Puddin, I said, this is a pretty good race car. I said, no, this is better than a good race car. This is a great race car. The last 3 times this car has run here, it's won twice and finished 2nd with Tim Ayer driving it.
There's Fleming, our leader. Remember that bad pit stop he had just a couple laps ago? He had fallen back, all the way to about 15th spot. He's now working his way up to around 11th and trying to work his way through all this heavy traffic. There we see him. He will try to dive on the inside of the door of Bergmeyer. Can't make it.
That's Bert's dad, Gary, right in front of him in the car number 1. Meanwhile, back up front, Puddin' Swisher takes a look to the outside of Junior Miller, 2 of the veterans in modified racing in this part of the Carolinas. And boy, people have watched this battle for years.
Melvin Swisher told Junior in the driver's meeting, I'm going to park you down in turn 1. He was only kidding. But he said he expected to be reparked in turn 2 if he were to do something like that. Look at him, he's waving at Junior saying thanks. Did you see him wave to him as he came off the 4th corner?
Hey, I asked Melvin Puddin' Swisher, I said, how old are you, Puddin'? He said, well, I'll tell you this much, Doc, my number is 56 and I'm older than that. He said, this is my 37th consecutive year that I've purchased a NASCAR license.
He was telling Junior Miller that he had something wrong with his car. I don't know. He waved as he came off the 4th corner. I don't know. And we can see right now that Junior Miller is holding up these other cars big time.
Battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
That 41 car is Patrick DePonte. Ooh, almost spun right in front of him.
And let's check back in the Billy Middleton pit with Bill Weber again. Bill, what have they found?
Broken right front Heim joint, Jerry. They're going to try and repair it and get him back out. Billy still sits on the car, parked on pit road. Losing precious laps. This isn't a points race either, but they know they're on television. There's a good crowd here. We're just going past halfway, and he'd like to get out there and run some more laps. But broken right front Heim joint, so lengthy repairs here in the pits for Billy.
That is giving Junior Miller such a hard time trying to get by, or I should say Junior Miller is giving Brian King a hard time.
Miller, the veteran.
Ooh, a little bit of bump there.
21-year-old Brian King in the 03, making only his 3rd ever modified start, and Miller's car slips, and now King will make the pass. Here comes the 41 of Pat DePonte.
And he makes this pass. So right now, but Brian King in the 03 in 2nd spot.
There's DePonte's serial, started back in 16th spot, currently 3rd. Young man, 17 years of age. His first time here. Normally runs up at Evergreen Raceway in Pennsylvania, the 3/8 mile. There's the guy they're chasing, Benny. Melvin Puddin' Swisher. "71 laps remaining of Wilkesboro Speedway, and they're chasing the veteran. Melvin Swisher is our leader. We'll be right back.
When the Hendrick team switched to Quaker State this year, I was talking with my crew chief about it, and he said they ran through all these tests, and the stuff beats all their standards. So I said, but don't forget, we won 8 races with last year's oil. And he said, yeah, but don't you forget, we also...
Track Packs are brought to you by Quaker State, the motor oil that exceeds the highest standards for engine protection.
In the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, the rules require that the roof of the car is welded to certain points of the roll cage. That's an interest of safety. Well, it's a little different over here in the NASCAR Modified Division, because this is what they use to attach the roof. This is a Zeus fastener, and you'll find 4 of these on the roof of every one of these modifieds. Now, when a driver has put the car up against the wall and they want to get him out in a hurry, they will pop out these Zeus fasteners. If they want to get him out in a real hurry, they can just pop out 2 and bend the roof back. If they've got a little bit of time, they'll use all 4 fasteners, loosen them, and get the driver out. Why is that like that in the Modified Series? Because see these windows? Very small openings. Sometimes you get guys like, well, Benny Parsons in these cars. They can't quite get in and out through the window real quickly, so they use these Zeus fasteners to get their guys in and out of the car, or to attach the roof so they can get their guys in and out of the car. Now, I have a track back bonus for you. This is the Heim joint part of it. Off of Billy Middleton's car. He's got a new one. He's on the track, but he's not really in the race, guys.
I'll get you, Weber. I'll get you.
I'll look forward to it, BP.
Under caution for the fourth time today. We're going to take a look at the reason for the caution flag. There's the 07. Lap 83. Fourth caution flag today, and here's what happened.
Well, there's obviously some debris I see laying on the racetrack.
81 car getting by. That's Keith Roberts.
I see Burt Myers was in the crash. And Myers just comes down in the corner of the 4 car and loses it. And up he goes and smacks the wall with the left front. Now, cars are going to come and try to dodge Burt, and they will spin out or get bumped from the rear. You ever see cars come in?
Now watch left side of your screen. They're going to really try to get on the brakes and just he's sitting there as a dead duck, just saying, won't fire, please don't hit me. Up. And
oh, look at the 79 car. Pole sitter gets bammed by Frank Fleming in the 07 car. And some pretty good damage to both of those automobiles.
leaders on pit road. There's Melvin Puddenswisher getting tire change, getting the sticker tires put on. You see that sticker on the car. And also Junior Miller in the 69 car. That bright orange and white numeral machine. They will change rear tires on that car as well. And now they are removing some debris from the grill in the 69 car. He pulls out, it comes down pit road, 35 miles an hour. And here's the car number 4.
You see where he hit the wall with his Nerfing bar in the nose, the front of the car. I would say some serious damage to the front tires.
And there's the front end of the 07 car where the Nerf met the Nerf. Under caution for the 4th time. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Still under caution of Wilkesboro Speedway. We're going to show you why the caution came out for the 4th time as a car spun on a turn 4. And Benny, he was a sitting duck up there.
Yes, he was. Burt Myers goes in the corner. That's B-U-R-T, if I'm not saying it well. He goes up and smacks the wall with the nose of the car. I thought the left front hit it, but there he slams on the brake, and now the groove is just so narrow. A car goes above him. But Brian King in the 03 is going to come in, get a bump from the rear, and the 79 car, our pole sitter, gets jousted from the rear by the 07 of Frank Fleming.
So the cars involved, Burt Myers, Roger Hill, Frank Fleming, and Brian King. Those were the 4 involved in the 4th caution flag. Green flag waves once again.
So Roger Hill, the pole sitter, is back where he started, in first spot. There he is. There's the 07 of Frank Fleming. And Billy Milton is back in the race, several laps down.
Fleming is the leader.
Oh, he is the leader?
Roger Hill, he's on the tail end of the lead lap.
That's right. He lost the lap on that first pit. Up, piece of debris. You'll get that lap back.
That came off the Burt Myers car, we are told a moment ago, and it's blowing down out of the groove. We'll wait and see if NASCAR will put out the caution flag. Apparently the flagmen have looked at it, felt the debris is down inside the groove, and so they will stay green. Frank Fleming, who was involved in that shunt a moment ago. And actually, Roger Hill was getting his lap back, or trying to get his lap back when that occurred, so he now is on the tail end of the lead lap. .45 car Billy Middleton showing 15 laps down. Even though he's right behind our leader, Frank Fleming. You saw that broken Heim joint when he ran into the back of the Robert Jeffries car.
Cars, the 2 cars directly behind Frank Fleming will be the second place car. The 41 car of Patrick DuPonte is the second place car. You see by the monitor, Gary Myers is in 3rd. There's the battle. He was in 3rd, now he's 4th.
That's Philip Hill out of Jonesboro, North Carolina. His dad is Al Hill, the veteran who is also running in this race and a former winner here. So good run for Philip. started back in 21st spot in a Chevy. Now being shown in third.
There's the 41 car that I was talking about just a moment ago. Patrick DePonte. And here comes Hill taking a look on the inside. He has a good run, but can he make it?
Caution on the speedway, Benny, as they are side by side, but Jimmy Howell waves the caution flag. We got a car that spun coming off of turn 2.
The 30 car is stalled over there, Jerry. Earl Baker out of Winston-Salem.
And now we'll bring out caution for the 5th time. Earl Baker, and there's some debris also on the track, and that will give NASCAR a chance to clean up the debris and give Baker an assist. Back with more in a moment. And the field behind the Pontiac safety car, the 5/8 mile facility in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Glad to have you with us. Bill Weber, Benny Parsons, yours truly, Jerry Punch, bringing you NASCAR modified action.
Now, you keep talking about Pontiacs and Oldsmobile. I know I can tell that's a Pontiac.
It's got fenders on it.
It's got fenders and it's got a grill. I know that's a Pontiac. Hey, pit road is open and here they come. Here's the leader, Frank Fleming, coming down pit road. The 9 car of Ralph Franklin coming down pit road.
97 laps complete, 53 to go. And remember, they only are allowed 2 sets of tires under caution. 2 sets totally in their pit, so this could be the end of the tires for these guys who come down and change now. And let's go down to Bill Weber, who's standing by waiting for our leader.
And he's slowly coming in, and Frank Fleming has arrived here in the pits. This is going to be 2 right side tires. Now they're going to work on the front. They're going to tell him that they told him you won't have much bumpers, so you're going to have to be careful. And then they're going to let him go for the last 50 laps. They're not going to talk to him. They're going to change right side only and then send him back out. He's down. The bumper stays on. It's not in really good shape. 18 seconds left, a little shorter than that last one that they had down here. Also, just to update on the 79 car of Roger Hill, they did have that lengthy pit stop, made the critical chassis adjustment, got their lap back under this caution, and they are happy racers, even though they got a long way to go. But they got 50 laps to do it, BP.
You know, that's cruel and unusual punishment, Bill, to tell the guy, look, we're going to change right sides, but you got to be careful because you don't have a bumper. And they put him at the rear of the field where he has to bump some people. Man.
Well, his bumper is facing the clouds, and we'll come back and see the finish in just a moment. Stay with us. Back just in time. Safety car pulling away. Still working the 5th caution flag today, but not for very long, as we are set for green flag racing action. There'll be 51 laps to go. Glad to have you with us. NASCAR open wheel modified competition.
And Robert Jeffries in 75. The whites, and they're bunched up behind them, and tires are smoking in there, having a terrible time getting started. They finally get it sorted out, and away they go. Anyway, back to my original point, 75, Robert Jeffries. Jeffries is the leader of the race. Meanwhile, cars on the inside trying to get laps back. Now we've got a spin.
That's Gary Myers up in turns 3 and 4. And he loops it around, and the caution is waving. He can hustle. He won't lose a lap, and that's indeed the case. He's got the car righted, but the Triumph Electronics Oldsmobile has spun. And let's look again and see what might have happened to Gary.
Here's the restart, and we see they just start bumping up. Junior Miller gets in the back of the 1 car. Hooden gets in the back of Junior Miller. Meantime, there's 03 car that we saw spun earlier up in the corner. That's the restart. That's what I was talking about a moment ago when they all were jammed up.
Take a look at the damage on this car. I mean, the sheet metal shoved in. The Nerf bar didn't protect it too much there, Benny. It's rubbing pretty seriously.
Yeah, they've knocked the right rear quarter panel in on the tire, and it's cut the tire down. He will have to go in the pits. And tough break for Mr. Foley because he had a great run going.
He had come all the way into the top 5 from 17th starting spot. Jay Foley out of Stewart, Virginia. And while he takes that car down pit road to get some of that sheet metal pulled away and a fresh tire, we'll take a break and come back for some more green flag action on what is a beautiful day here in Wilkes County. Back at the Wilkesboro Speedway. Glad to have you with us. We're going to try this once again. We just tried to restart a few moments ago, and everyone got jammed. They said, go, go, go. Then they said, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, right.
No one could stop it, so we had some sheet metal damage. Jay Foley has been on the pits and had the sheet metal pulled away. He rejoins the fray as we get set for green flag racing action.
That's one of our better starts. I said the sheet metal was knocked in on the automobile from the Foley car. I believe that the nervous car was knocked up against the tire, Jared.
Tim Dwiggins is the head of this line at the front of the field, but he is being shown a lap down. That's the car number 6. He was a lap down at 19 spots.
But he's holding up Jeffries long enough for the field to catch up. There he goes by Dwiggins on the outside.
Our AutoZone race recap. There's Robert Jeffries, who is our leader, but
We got a problem. That's not the right way, Jerry. He's going backwards.
well, that's trying to get his lap back, maybe. No, that wouldn't work.
That wouldn't work either.
And-
Official, about the same spot he's on before.
Well, he just wisely decides to hold it. The field comes by, and he loses a lap as the caution comes out again. Aubrey trying to get that car across the start-finish line. And that'll bring out the 6th caution flag today. Our AutoZone race recap shows that Robert Jeffries is our leader, has led 8 of 106 laps. There have been 5 lead changes, 6 cautions for 30 laps. The average speed a little over 80 miles an hour. Our lap leaders, our pole sitter Roger Hill had led the bulk of the laps early on, 43. Frank Fleming, 30. Melvin Puddin Swisher, 14. And Junior Miller, 11. And now Robert Jeffries, our current leader, has led 8 laps. Out of race, there you see Bubba Beck, 60 years of age. He's had to park the car number 11. Gaither, Shepard, and Wilkins, those 4 cars have parked from the 31 that started. We are under caution. Good crowd on hand today here at Wilkes County at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Back with more in a moment. Back in North Wilkesboro, lots of racing action coming your way tomorrow. Sunday breakfast. How about ESPN2's Thunder at 7 a.m. Eastern? NASCAR's Modified Lowe's 150 at 9 a.m. Eastern. Those are both on the deuce. After breakfast, how about brunch? NASCAR Winston Cup pole qualifying for the Busch Pole. 11 a.m. Eastern time on ESPN2, then RPM today. Noon Eastern time, Kenny Mayne and company. And then the main course is lunchtime at the NASCAR Today Show, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Simulcast on ESPN and the Deuce. Dave Despain and company, NASCAR Winston Cup live flag-to-flag coverage. First Union 400 at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then dinner, RPM tonight, is Kenny Mayne and the company wrapping all up all the motorsports action from around the world that occurred on Sunday. Now, that show could come on early if the hockey playoff game ends early. So, folks, 8 p.m. Eastern time is the scheduled time, but it could be as early as 7 o'clock. Back with more from North Wilkesboro after this. Stay with us. Back at North Wilkesboro Speedway, Lowe's 150, and Benny, less than 50 laps to go, and now it's going to come down to crunch time. We've already seen a few crunches, but hopefully this restart won't be one of them.
We have seen lots of crunches today, and restarts have been a problem. Here they come. Let's try it again. The 41 car, Patrick DePonte, dove on the inside and tried to get the lead, but all he did was get pumped behind the Dwiggins number 6 car and lost the spot to Junior Miller. That's Junior Miller in the bright orange 69 that's taking the lead. Meanwhile, there, the white 79 car, we might not have told you just a couple of laps ago, he did get his lap back on one of those cars with flag. That's supposed to. Meanwhile, we got a battle for the lead. Here comes Junior Miller, and he takes the lead.
Boy, Miller made it look easy, sliding on the inside of Robert Jeffries. Miller's car number 69. Started 7th, currently 1st. 5-time winner a year ago in the Southern Modified Auto Racing Tour. Takes away the first spot. Back in 3rd spot is the 41 car. That's still the youngster, Patrick DePonte, out of Brick, New Jersey. There's DePonte's car number 41.
28 car, Phillip Hill. That's a battle for position, battle for third and fourth. The 6 car, the blue car, Wiggins is a lap down.
How about Philip Hill? He started back at 21st spot. Talking about the car number 28. That is Al Hill's son as he tries to move in on someone who's making his first trip to Wilkesboro Speedway, Patrick DePonte. That battle for third position.
There we see Clinton Swisher in the 56 car, Melvin Swisher, and the 79 car of Roger Hill. And Bill Weber, what you got on Roger Hill?
Well, Benny, they had that real long pit stop as that battle for the lead continues. They actually broke an air gun during that pit. They tried to change 3 tires. It took them almost a minute. Finally got back out on the track. Well, they've been fighting for track position. Finally got their lap back. Now they need one more caution to make a 2-tire change. The only problem is this is a 150-lap race. In this race, you cannot change tires with 25 laps to go. So they need that caution to come in the next 7 laps, or they're going to be in big trouble. Another guy running well, the 07. They've told Frank Fleming, be patient. I think you've got the car. We'll see what happens. Lap 118 on the board.
Now you see Fleming now making his move. He is moving into the top 5 and is trying to move by the car number 41.
That's the third place car. He's moved into 4th spot. And he has got his eyes on 3rd spot.
Take a look at our field summary. You heard Bill mention they're not allowed to change tires in the last 25 laps. That is a cost-cutting maneuver, so someone won't dive on the pit road with just laps to go and put on fresh tires and say someone else can't afford to buy a set of tires.
And Fleming takes over that 3rd spot, and the leaders are just not that far away from Frank.
Fleming is 3rd, the 07 car. Pontiac J2000. Chasing Robert Jeffries, who's the 2nd place car, and that man there, who's the leader, Junior Miller.
And good battle for 4th spot between the 41 car, DePonte, and Philip Hill in 28. And 83 car, Tim Brown. And Brown goes by him, takes a spot.
That's 4th, 5th, and 6th. Less than 30 laps to go. And by the way, even though we've had 6 caution flags, this race cannot end under caution. The rules do not allow them to have the race end under caution. So if we have a caution, they'll have to go back to green. It'll be green, white, and checkered. So another exciting part of this NASCAR modified action.
And here goes Frank Fleming on the outside. Takes over 2nd spot. It looks like Bill Weber that your crew was correct. Be patient, Frank, because we feel like you have the car, and it certainly is looking that way. Man, he closes up on Junior. Man, he closes up on Junior. Did I say that already? Man, is he closing up on Junior.
Closer and closer. And after this lap, they will no longer be able to change tires unless you got a flat, because it'll be just 25 to go. And now the rules say, no tire changes. What you got on the car, you're going to have to save and make work. Now, Fleming caught Junior Miller in a hurry, but passing him, then he has something else.
Well, maybe he just now has said, okay, I'm here. I'll just ride a little bit and see where his weakness is, and I'll try to do it there rather than use up my tires to get by Junior Miller.
Folks, 25 laps here at this pace is only about 8 minutes of racing. That's how fast these cars run, a 5/8 mile facility. As you see Junior Miller running 79 and 41, Betty.
That's a battle for position. Well, they don't have that for a battle position on their scoring pylon, so I thought that Hill had gotten back in the lead lap. Evidently not. Roger Hill, I was talking about in the 79 car.
There's Gary Myers in the 1 car. You see the car number 79. That was our pole sitter, Roger Hill. There are our front 2 cars. Junior Miller, a 2-time winner here at Wilkesboro Speedway. He swept both events back in 1993.
Took a look on the inside of Junior Miller.
You see, Frank has to be very careful. That Nerf bar on the front of his car isn't there anymore is a bumper. It sort of faces the sky. So the crew said, hey, remember, you don't have a front bumper, so you can't bump anybody. First thing he would hit would be that radiator cover. That would be curtains for Fleming. So longtime sponsor Hayes Jeweler from that car number 07. Bruce and Zach Hayes out of Lexington, North Carolina. They've been around racing for years and years and years.
A long, long time. Make all kinds of racing souvenirs, jewelry-wise, necklaces and bracelets and that thing, sort of thing. Tell you what, Frank Fleming tried to move on the outside just a couple laps ago and lost tremendous distance to Junior Miller. Meanwhile, here's a battle for third spot. Robert Jeffries in the 75 and Tim Brown in the 83. And Brown is faster, but that don't necessarily mean anything at this stage. Oh, he shut him off. And there we see Roger Hill is in the 5th spot. I thought he was on the lead lap.
As you watch the battle, car number 75 and 83 for third position.
Hill has moved in the back of, almost on the back of Brown, so we have 3rd, 4th, and 5th together.
Jeffries, Brown, and Hill, 75, 83, and 79. And now Brown makes a move to the inside. There's a slower car there, but he's still able to make, well, was able to make the pass, but now Jeffries comes roaring back, and Hill goes past him.
I tell you what, at least Tim Brown did not try to make it 3 wide and cause a tremendous incident there coming off turn 4. Really used his head, didn't Tim Brown? 79 cars to Benz right in front of him. And caution flag is out.
Caution is out, lap 136. As our pole sitter, Roger Hill, who had come from a lap down, gotten back on the lead lap. And now we bring out caution for the 8th time today. Roger Hill was being shown in 4th position. Now apparently his car will not fire. He sits on the racetrack across the apron. Here's a replay again of what happened to Roger Hill just a moment ago.
Going down the corner, he gets on the inside of Robert Jeffries, and they make contact. And when they do, Hill goes around, and Brown is awfully lucky he did not go up and make contact with him.
Remember, you cannot come down and change tires under this caution. A little different angle on this accident.
Once again, you'll see the contact on the left rear and right front. Right there, they make the contact.
And also remember, in the last 25 laps, they're single file restarts. And Roger Hill may not be enjoying it, but some of the Winston Cup drivers are. Jeff Gordon, the reigning Winston Cup champion, got a smile. He's watching the modified action. Back in a moment. Stay with us. And you can keep up with all the happenings at NASCAR online at www.nascar.com. We'll bring you the same real-time electronic timing and scoring that Winston Cup Series officials use to monitor the races. You'll be able to watch the progress of any car on the track. You can even print out a scoreboard to follow along with each race car. NASCAR online at www.nascar.com. And relatively speaking, Benny, it's a family affair here in the modified racing.
You know, I was really surprised as I walked through the garage here this morning how many fathers and sons that we had. 4 sets of fathers and sons. There you see them. And brothers, Frank and Chris Fleming. So 10 of the drivers related in some way.
And 3 of the top 5 have relatives in the field today. Less than 10 to go here. And boy, what a race we're going to have up front. Junior Miller and the car 69 and Frank Fleming in the 07. Let's check in the pits with Bill Weber.
Well, they said they weren't going to talk to Frank Fleming for the last 50 laps, so I went to get an update with 10 to go. And they said you never talk to him in the last 10 laps with 10 to go. Then just before the green came out, they told Frank, put pressure on him, put pressure on him. We're going to wear out his tires. Johnny Tarantino, who is crew chief for the 69 car, says, I think we're going to be okay. I think we can hold him off. He's only got a little over 6 laps to go.
Well, he's going to have to hurry if he's going to hold him off. He nearly got a shot on the outside. Meanwhile, we've got a pass for third spot. Battle there's at the pass for third position.
Tim Brown, the 83, takes it away from Robert Jeffries, and there we go back to the lead.
5 to go. 3-time Southern Modified Tour champion Junior Miller trying to hang on and win it. Battles all over the racetrack.
Battle for fourth spot, that's Phillip Hill in 28 and Robert Jeffries in 75. Meanwhile, back to the lead, Junior Miller, the orange 69, Frank Fleming, the 07. And then we see the second, third, and fourth and fifth place cars.
Back up front, here's our leaders. You watch that battle. Here is Junior Miller, a 9-time winner in 1995. He won 5 on the Smart Tour and 4 at Bowman Gray Stadium. In fact, he won 4 of the last 5 Smart events that were run last year, so certainly picking up where he left off a year ago.
Frank is trying. Car a little bit loose as he comes off the corner. Just 2 laps to go.
Our camera guys follow these battles all over the racetrack. Back up front, it's going to be the white flag. This time, Benny, looks like Frank Fleming may have run out of time or out of racetrack.
I believe he has, Jerry. White flag is out.
There they are in the Miller Motorsports pits. Fleming nearly spins his car. Here's a battle for third spot. Robert Jeffries trying to hang on. Phillip Hill in the car 28. They are wheel to wheel as the checkered flag comes out. There's the checkered flag. Watch this battle on turn 4.
And it looks like that Jeffries will get it.
Boy, a Nerf bar margin. Let's go down to the pit.
With Donnie Tarantino, the crew chief, congratulations. A great run for you.
Appreciate it, Bill. We come here twice a year, and it's the biggest races we got, especially with the Winston Cup boys. Just to show them all we can race with the best of them, too. We had a dismal start to the year with 11th at Somerville, so this really makes up for it. He's the best down here.
Your car's heading to victory lane. Go get him.
Thank you, bud.
That's the crew, Junior Miller, and we'll come back and talk to Junior, who's trying to make a decision whether he should run modified or spend the entire year in the Goodies Dash Series. We'll ask him that question and more in victory lane in just a moment. Today's Speed World coverage of the Lowe's 150 has been brought to you by the more than 1,250 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By Valvoline Durablend, the #1 selling semi-synthetic motor oil. And by Splitfire. Enter the performance zone with Splitfire Performance V spark plugs. Well, Benny, the Lowe's 150 is history, and boy, Junior Miller had just the right pit stop and the right strategy.
He timed it exactly perfect this afternoon. You know, Junior raced back in the Winston Cup about 15 years ago, so he knows about making these pit stops.
He's a 3-time Southern Modified Auto Racing Tour champion. He started 7th, and he finished 1st. He bided his time and held off an aggressive Frank Fleming out of Mount Airy. Let's go down to victory lane and hear from our winner, Junior Miller, who's standing by with Bill Weber. Bill?
Well, Junior Miller has climbed from his car, and a big salute to the fans and his crew, I'm sure. Congratulations, a great run for you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the good Lord for a good, safe race. It's a pretty day out here, and we stopped at the right time, got our tires on, and I thought we was a little bit of trouble there. The car was real loose on the first spot, but the crew got it right. I'd like to thank Bob Barkley for this motor, man. It's the best awesome motor I've ever had, man. We just pulled down the straightaway and coast through the corners.
Now tell me about the heat you were feeling from behind you there the last 10 laps.
Well, when I got in front there, I was just riding along, wasn't no big hurry, and I seen Frank coming. I know he stopped about 20 laps later than I did to get tired, and I know he pretty stout. I was saving some. I mean, I had a little bit left I need, I think. He had been hard to beat me. I seen he didn't have no bumper, so I know that I was in good shape.
Well, you're running a doubleheader now. A victory for you here in the first one. Tonight, you guys run at Caraway Speedway in Asheboro.
Yeah, we're going to my home track down there. I won the last three in a row down there, so maybe I can go down there and do it again.
Junior, you're looking some other opportunities, perhaps, based on maybe how it goes here today?
Yeah, we're going to run a dash car some for Jim Rees and Jerry Weaver, and, run some modified, just go have a good time.
Congratulations.
Thank you all a lot.
Junior Miller in victory lane at North Wilkesboro.
And Benny Jr. said he might run the full Goodies Dash Series Tour. Depends on what happens today and tonight. He's got a pretty good start on it and making his decision whether to run modifieds or dash.
Especially if he goes down to Caraway and wins tonight. Here's our unofficial results. We see Gary Myers back in 11th spot. He was black flagged late in the race.
How about Philip and Al Hill, father and son, I should say son and father, finishing 5th and 6th?
Well, the young man finished in front of his dad. I'm sure that that might not be good because Daddy might take the car away from him tonight.
And 16 through 30, you see was our pole sitter, Roger Hill, who lost a lap early, did have some troubles later on, ends up finishing in 16th spot.
Billy Middleton, who had such a good car, finished 24 laps down, and Bubba Beck will finish 31st here this afternoon.
Well, Bubba Beck, 60 years of age, been around a long time. How about the young man who made an effort to win it? Couldn't quite get close enough. Frank Fleming finished 2nd, and he's with our Bill Weber.
Well, here is Frank Fleming, and I know you're disappointed finishing 2nd, but it was a great run. It was exciting to watch. How about to race?
I'm not really disappointed. You know, if I can be competitive and run for the win, you know, I'm tickled to death. These boys give me a terrific car today. That thing really handled good. Just didn't work out right. We had to come from the rear, you know, with 50 laps to go, which we come up one car short. You know, I killed the right rear tire. Just Hayes Jeweler Pontiac, I'm sure it put a good show on for everybody anyway.
Oh, you sure did. How about that pit stop? You were in there a long time. I know that's very frustrating from a driver and for the crew, too.
Well, these boys do the best they do. They're not professionals. You know, we just do this we come here to Wilkesboro 2 or 3 times a year, and we do 2 tire pit stops most other tracks. I bragged on them before the race, but something happened. I'm sure they'll come back. They're like I am. They tough, and I'm sure they're disgusted, and they'll come back and, you know, make a difference next time.
And that next time, that's just a few hours away, 8 o'clock tonight. You're racing tonight?
Yeah, we got to do a lot of work. We got to fix the front bumper on this car from the incident that we had. Got to change all 4 springs.
A lot of work to do.
Oh, yeah, we got to change the transmission, rear end gears. These boys have got a job ahead of them, but I'm sure they get her ready, and we'll go run tonight.
Okay, 2nd this afternoon, looking for the win tonight. That's Frank Fleming.
Well, that's racing tonight, but how about tomorrow? We got a whole buffet for you. Sunday, breakfast, ESPN2, Thunder at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Then a re-air of the NASCAR Modified Lowe's 150, the exciting race you just saw a moment ago on ESPN2. What follows breakfast is brunch. NASCAR Winston Cup pole qualifying for the First Union 400, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And then RPM today, Kenny Mayne and company bring you up to date on what could happen today in motorsports around the world. That's at noon. How about lunch? The main menu, NASCAR Today, Dave Despain, simulcast ESPN and ESPN2. Then our live flag-to-flag coverage, First Union 400 Winston Cup race, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Bob Jenkins will be on hand here in the booth with Ned and Benny. And then, of course, at dinner time, RPM tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Kenny Mayne and company. Remember, that's a scheduled time, folks. That could come on early if the hockey playoff game goes off early. Coming up next, NASCAR Today Adventures. Once again, for Bill Weber and Benny Parsons, I'm Jerry Punch, congratulating that man right there. 44-year-old Junior Miller picking up his first win in 1996. He's the winner of the Lowe's 150. So long, everyone.